just waiting
Oh.
to be live streaming.
I mean, how many millions of people watch this on a monthly basis?
They look live.
Bobby, how old is your youngest?
She's 6.
Oh, yeah, some time to make some more money for that one.
So you have a 6-year-old and one in college?
I have 2 18-year-olds, a 17-year-old, and a 6-year-old.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
You were like out of the woods.
Yep.
Recording in progress.
So close.
Not that it's not fun.
Now I'm awake.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna call the RCDC meeting to order on Monday, February 12th, 2024 at 5:37. We'll do a quick roll call. Emily Doran here.
Brian Ryder present.
Bobby Hempling here.
Barry Delcamber here.
Okay. Any public comment online or here in person? Nope, okay. Moving on to the consent agenda. Discussion and possible action on the minutes from the December 18th, 2023 RCDC meeting. Any edits or comments or a motion?
Move rule.
Okay, I have a first from Brian.
Second.
Bobby second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Move that forward. Now onto the regular agenda, the update from the retail coach. So you all have a printout in front of you, and kind of want to go through these one at a time if we could. So from a standpoint of, I guess, marketing of what Rollingwood could offer, the retail coach went to this Red River conference in Dallas, January 31st through the 2nd. They had some good conversations with JLL. So we will get more details on that, but I feel like that's a positive, momentum of something. Rollingwood Plaza, that's the Chinatown space. They are still actively working on plans, and it would align with the plans that already are in place of city codes and ordinances on height, with the concept that going kind of what's happening right now with that waterway in the back that's being put together. Could we do something like that on that side? So we'll see. We'll have more update on that. They know, they being the owners of the property, know we're not going to entertain anything that would go above the height restriction. So they're not even going to.
It's 2 stories.
Exactly. With that.
Would we allow 2-story there?
I believe so.
Yeah, you can be up to 2.
Me too.
Yeah. But with the
I don't have a problem
the
with
back part, having kind of like Katy Trail
Yeah.
in Dallas.
That's our hope.
Yeah, that's a hope. So, then the church, which we have the update on that, and I think the hard part with it'd be a great piece of property, but I think the hard part of the money to purchase it from the city, which is the complicated of a complication, and then the church would want to, would need to move to another location. So there's that. So this next one about the Rollingwood Commercial Exchange meeting, we need to kind of, as a group, come up with some dates. Retail Coach has already gone to Chinatown. They're willing to host. We would need some support from city staff to kind of, get logistics, emails, those sort of things go out. But we need to talk through dates, paying for the venue, getting all that stuff done.
Well, paying for it should be easy. You can just
Yeah,
put
I
it in
mean,
the
yes,
budget.
that's the
no
easy part.
problem.
Right.
Sure, just
I think just
committing to
what would be,
spend.
a good time of the week, like those sort of pieces that make sense for everybody.
time of the week and time during the day. Is
I
it a
know.
lunch or is it a?
It's lunch.
Okay,
I think lunch, unless anyone.
It seems more like,
a business.
right? Because you never know if other people, they may not live here. So you have to have your businesses, they're theoretically here during the day.
Yeah.
Lunch works for me,
Okay.
pretty much any day.
And I
of the
think
week.
us having representation there will be important. I don't think every single one of us has to be there, but representation is good.
What kind of money are they needing? Couple of grand or something like that.
probably, yeah.
Yeah. I would say middle of the week's probably easiest to get people to come to.
You think?
Yeah, because a Friday they could be off, they could go for a long weekend, Monday's the same thing, so yeah.
Monday you're busy.
Yeah.
I kinda would agree at
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Like Tuesday through Thursday?
Yeah.
Do we need to formally adopt a budget for?
Yeah,
those?
I guess, or
Is
have a
it at-
conversation about
Is
what,
it at Chinatown? Is that where we'd
yes,
be having it?
yes. Or at least discuss what we wanna spend.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, how many people are they expecting to show up?
I mean, I
I
think,
would bet 3 or 4 of us, and maybe we'd be lucky to get 2 or 3 or 4 of them. I don't know.
I
Oh,
mean,
you
it's-
think it's that few?
I would imagine. I mean, at least, especially the first time, unless there's like overwhelming demand for everyone to meet each other.
Yeah.
I would be shocked.
yeah, I mean, I think if they could get 2 to 5 other developers to show up, I think that's a win.
You know, we sit around a big table and order off the menu, it wouldn't cost more than a couple $100.
Right, right. I mean, I think 1,000 tops
All
is,
right, I'll move that we authorize $1,000 for the purpose of this gathering, max, and
Okay.
see how it goes.
do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, perfect. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
The only, this is not directly related to that, but the only thing I would say is like the commercial exchange, is that for the businesses in the area or potential, what is the goal? I know we've talked about this in various forms the past like 2 years, but
So it's for the developers that own the spaces that are available to come, and those that want to have,
got
so
it.
other-
Not like the retailers.
correct.
Okay, perfect. That, just
Correct.
wanted to make sure that was,
Yeah.
that to me would be more applicable,
Right.
right? Cause you talk to the people that want to invest versus the people that are tenants.
Right,
So-
now, I know like I think it was like Snooze and one other, pizza place, like maybe they get invited because they have an interest of their rep
Being
coming,
a
you know, being in,
developer as well
being,
as-
yes. But yeah, does that answer your question, Gary?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like Snooze. They're very pet friendly.
Okay. Okay, so we
Delicious
have,
pancakes.
so I will send, I'll just pretty much look at them at the rest of Feb and March.
When do you think about doing it?
I mean,
The week of March 11th, I think, through the 19th, whatever that.
that's spring break.
I know. So not
Yeah.
that would not be good. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I will not be here, and
Um,
probably no one else would.
I mean, I'm sorry? Yes,
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, for the 1,000. Yes. I mean, should we look at like after spring break? Cause I feel like between now and spring break, it's just really,
That'll be late in March, if we're gonna try, well, let's see, what is this? Today's the 12th of February.
I mean,
Can we get it done before we get an extra day in February?
I just think from like communication to people to show up, I think if we try to do it,
Do it the first of March, first weekend in March?
yeah, maybe we
First
try
week in March.
first week in March and then the last 2 after spring break.
Well, if we're gonna do this, and let's try it out, let's do it, see if we can do it the first week in March, and see if retail coach can, see if Aaron
Okay.
can get some folks to come and talk to us.
I'll be gone Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just FYI, I don't know that it matters.
Those were the literal dates you proposed.
Well, of that week.
I was about to say,
And then I'm gone the following week.
then it's
for
on a
spring break.
Tuesday, so you better show up.
I could do Tuesday.
Okay.
All right.
Can we do the week of the 18th as well as another option of March?
Yeah, I'll be here.
That's
Okay.
the week after spring break.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Is that gonna jack up the other school districts having different,
No,
are all school districts,
the 11th.
All
They
of
are?
us are on that one. at least.
AISD and,
What is AISD school district?
Usually everybody follows the UT program.
Yeah, that's when UT says the 11th.
okay.
Do we have to watch quorums at those though, Megan?
I won't go with it. It's fine.
So we can't have a full.
No, right, exactly.
Well, we can all hang
Bob?
out as long as we don't talk about specific things related to the meetings.
Well, except that that's exactly what the purpose of the meeting is.
I don't
So
have to
you're
talk
at-
about any of it. But no, but I mean, like, but like, a general like meet. Well, that's fine. I mean, we'll do what we have to
You
do.
know,
But
a Christmas party gives you something else to talk about, but recruiting,
they have,
No city business, right?
We just post notice of possible quorum.
We could. Yeah. But then I have to go too, someone has to go take minutes
Oh.
then.
Yeah, and that's not, okay, well then,
okay,
Well,
so
at
I'm
least
fairly
have-
confident that 2 or 3 of us can go and that
yeah,
that won't cost us.
that's
yeah,
fine, okay, okay, so there's,
I will.
Unless you're dying to go to Chinatown for lunch.
I am not.
May I ask a question? How many
Yeah.
of us are there? What has the city done about appointments?
Well, that's not an agenda item.
Wow.
Don't worry, we're gonna get
It's
there.
item 6, Mr. Grenade Thrower.
Yeah, we thought.
I can cover that on the update.
Yeah.
to the council one.
Yes. Don't worry, Brian. We're gonna get there.
We're good.
Okay. So we've agreed $1,000 Tuesday,
Yep.
Wednesday, Thursday, first week of March, or the week of the 18th of March. Okay.
Yep.
I'll go back to those dates with retail coach. Okay, then this incentive, this last piece is the retail coach shared some incentive policies for us to review, which is this second page, which is labeled incentive policies.
This is a wish list or kind of a comprehensive
Options.
These are-
scale of,
Uh-huh.
or listing of possible deals that any city can do for development purposes. I mean, chapter 380, chapter 381, it's chapter 380 of the local government code. Lawyer, help me here.
Yes, sir.
At 380 local government code, and then, we've got new, was it 403 for school districts to chime in, and the old 313 got killed off, and we can use TIFs and TERS, which are tax increment financing and tax increment districts that basically give back some tax money for the developer putting in some stuff, and then in a way, it's an indirect financing device. 380 allows grants as well as loans. The whole question, though, is gonna be, you know, I attend some of the other meetings, and there's a lot of people in this city who just do not want to fund,
Private development.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I'd be
it's
afraid
not the
too.
legal issues that are not, I mean, there are legal possibilities out there. The issues are they gonna be political, selling it to our citizens.
I like the idea of fast tracking because you look at development and that is a huge cost. But this town does not like fast things tracked
Yeah,
through
this is
city
not the city of
government.
Austin for crying out loud. I mean, they've already got fast tracking benefits for the most part, unless they wanna bring in something out, you know. Redoing the church site, just thinking about, I've been here long enough, I don't know if all the rest of you have, to remember the great hoorah over what has now become the town center over there, finally built, but that thing was argued over for half a dozen years, and then it sat there for 8 or 10 years, I think, before it actually got built.
Yeah.
The office buildings and parking garages. And it may not be as bad. How many homes does the church back up to? Not many, I don't think.
Not very many at all. I mean, there's a rather big buffer with
Yep.
Romana Lane and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a
And
trailer
they have-
back there.
They also
yeah.
have a
There
big,
is a trailer back there.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Back
the
area.
church site may not be as big a deal, as the office building site because of the concerns
Yeah.
in
Too
that
close to the-
discussion, and that long discussion about giving a good deal to the developer, and we didn't wanna do something like that, but really the issue was our neighbors on Timberline and not screwing up their
Right.
ambiance back there, but if we don't have that, you know, maybe we could use one or more of these devices to, help a developer buffer the cost of doing this, but the real problem with the church is finding an alternative site for them.
I know.
Which is almost impossible. I mean, it's really hard to find another spot. Either is an existing church that is vacant, or a spot in the area that is affordable for what they're gonna sell and then,
Right.
replicate. It's a tough one.
Right.
At least they're nonprofits, so they don't have to pay the taxes and try to roll the remaining money into
Right.
things. My God, get the ID on this man. We haven't seen him long enough, and I think he needs to identify himself.
Yeah. Identify yourself.
David Smith here.
Most fashionably late man ever.
We're currently talking about the possibility or impossibility of development of the church site for development purposes, and problems of finding an alternative site, which is what the church wants. Does anyone know? I'm sure that I don't attend the Baptist church. Where the people who come to that church live? Are they locals here?
I have no
I don't.
idea.
They have their
The
actually their biggest issue is the school. The school that they have there
Correct.
is actually their like
Yeah.
Oh, they have a
Anchor.
school there?
Yeah, it's like a daycare.
And so that is their actual
Preschool.
revenue driver is the school. So that's why it would be, they're looking for something kind of in that same area so that they don't have to restart a school, which if you're going to
Yeah.
sell and then try to move in the same spot, then of course you can't
I mean, if you, it's
Really get
it's a
much
complicated.
What about subdivide? I mean, that's a huge,
it's 7 acres, right?
yeah.
Yeah, some of it's floodplain. So you may have some floodplain issues depending on what the work that, I haven't looked at it in a while, but I know there's some floodplain issues down there. I know that there's some work that's been done down there with the neighboring development. I don't know if some of that can be overcome with engineering and a clomer, but, it's one of the things we looked at, potential different uses for, that site when we were doing the comprehensive plan.
What is
city.
the impact going to be on that site, David, about the MOPAC improvements? Do we know anything about what's gonna happen as far as MOPAC improvements? Because if the MOPAC improvements are gonna make that site something under a freeway, it might change the decision-making calculus.
Yeah, and originally it's, the
Of
resistance.
course, if it's under the freeway, then nobody's gonna wanna
It-
develop it for anything.
Yeah, no one was gonna be able to, because of the topo and everything, you can't get wide enough at elevation to have that actually underneath the church.
Yeah,
And so, the only potential impacts, well, and also locally, the community here wanted to keep the intersection at Mopac and Bee Caves Road like it was, or like it is. Because TxDOT threw out a couple different scenarios for a couple different kind of traffic patterns. But everyone wanted to keep that as is. And the issue is with the topo there, you really can't, it's at least that stretch of Mopac is pretty much stuck the way it is. There was one, I think there was one early design by TxDOT that would have an elevated lane,
yeah.
but it wouldn't go, I mean, they're kind of stuck within that right of way, more or less. TxDOT stuck within that right of way. So I don't think, the only impacts would be really ingress and egress potentially to that site.
The elevated, is the elevated section through there still on the table, or is that?
They
gone?
moved, the last proposal that I saw, and frankly, the proposal that makes the most sense for TxDOT, and the one that when I was still working on the issue, the one that I think everyone gravitated towards at TxDOT from an engineering standpoint, is to push any elevated lanes to the south of Bee Caves Road, because they were able to take better advantage of the topo falling off kind of as you go back down
toward the
towards Barton Skyway.
Yeah.
And also because you don't have, it's mostly as you get down that way, your impacts are mostly any impacts will be more towards commercial sites and less to potential residential sites. And also they have more room to work with to blend it into the landscape. So that seemed to be so I don't know that there'd be any really MOPAC South issues. And frankly, and I know that, just from friends and clients, I know that the Baptist Church has been approached by several different developers. And, what Barry said is spot on about, the main concern is, okay, where do we relocate to? And where do we relocate to, number one? And then two, what about the school and still having a viable day school, preschool program? And then also, to be fair, I think I'd be remiss if I didn't say that, there were a lot of local Rollingwood residents who had concerns about, okay, if it's not the church there, because a lot of people like the big open space and the lower development. If it's not a church there, what's it going to be? And some concerns about what's the future.
Yeah, a
Use gonna
12-story
be-
office building with a 6-story parking garage.
hopefully something that.
Well,
drives
it,
Sales tax.
yeah, but well,
Yeah.
if you want to really, you know, it's people were like, oh my God, what do you mean there might be a hotel there?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
God forbid.
But it is funny, you look at these and you go, sales tax rebate, well, that doesn't really work because we want sales tax. Grants and funds, nobody was gonna approve that. Fast tracking, God help us if we ever tried that here.
well, and I think
Development
at the end of the
fee.
day, the city council's gonna lead
I think, yeah,
which direction we move in, but these, at least we have some ideas.
Yeah, well, and
compared
you
to
know,
People's Republic, we're pretty fast tracking.
you know, I will say that, you know, at least a couple of different developer groups that I talked to that I just kind of knew off the cuff, he said, oh yeah, you know, we've talked to the church in the past. They were kind of aware and sensitive to, you know, some of the, you know, potential concerns of the community. Now, having said that, you know, they were all talking about more of like a, you know, more office park, you know, kind of like almost like a corporate campus type setup, which, you know, from our tax base perspective, from sales tax revenue, really doesn't
Yeah.
move the needle much. Now, of course,
It's better than a church. I mean, not to knock a church, but like you get nothing from a church.
no, well, true, and you don't get property valuation, but, you know, in any sort of, you know, everyone I talk to, you know, about, you know, any sort of, you know, well, what about retail? What about this? You know, the problems were from a retail standpoint, visibility and ingress egress with that particular site. Just, I mean, because of the way it falls off of topo and everything else. I mean, you know, I think everyone, you know, I think that there are a lot of people who said, yeah, you know, a hotel would be definitely viable, but is that something that, you know, the city would really kind of get behind and sign off on?
Right.
If it was part of maybe like a office campus or something. I said, oh, I don't know. That's gonna be a city council question. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I will go back to Aaron on the dates, the cost, and kind of go from there.
Will members of the council, or can anyone at council be at that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, what,
I'm sorry?
this retail.
Come to lunch and
Yeah,
talk
the-
about
the-
it.
Chinatown
Yeah,
lunch.
I would like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like that should be like a, I don't know what the
No,
proper
I
hobnob is,
just
but
wrote
it's
down like the list of people, like the, like council members should be invited, representation from RCDC,
the mayor. I mean, like, I don't know, like, you know,
Yeah.
like our,
for sure. Okay.
What do
Great.
we even have in the way of impact fees? I guess we have we have something about joining the septic, I mean, the sewer system. $3,000 a connection or something. I don't think we have impact fees or development fees like the city of Austin.
That would be a question for Nikki.
And then cash payments and ad valorem incentives.
Okay. I'm gonna move on to the
Okay.
next agenda item. Is that good? Okay.
That's the wish list.
Yeah. Number 4, discussion and possible action on a resolution setting the date and time of regular Rollingwood Community Development Corporation meetings and setting the annual meeting for the election of officers. So we talked about this last time. This is just officially on the agenda for a vote.
So do we like Mondays at 5:30, first Monday at 5:30,
Sorry, it's the second Monday of the month.
sorry, second Monday of the month.
So I have a
sorry,
motion.
oh, yeah, sorry, motion to keep the current time of
Okay.
second
S-
Monday
second.
at 5:30.
Second,
And approve the resolution?
Yeah, they approved the resolution, because we've also got that annual meeting in there for election of the officers.
Correct.
What does the bylaws call for an annual meeting?
Right now, it says it's January,
how'd that work?
so we changed it.
Of
We
what
just
year?
tweaked a little to say, if, every year?
Yeah.
The first meeting in January.
Yeah.
Or the first meeting of the year.
And we didn't meet in January. So that's why it's happening now.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be president for another year.
So do we need to change what I said? Sorry, it like wasn't clear there to me.
Yeah, where did we sit?
So we have the meeting time.
Yep.
We've all agreed to that, but setting the annual meeting for the election of officers, do we wanna do that?
Do we have to give a special notice for the meeting of officers, or is it because it's in the bylaws, we can just do it?
Yeah,
Right.
the annual meeting for election of officers.
Correct.
So,
You just approve the resolution that's in the packet and it'll
Yeah.
cover it all.
All right. So, motion to approve the resolution in the packet?
I have a motion. I have a second.
Second.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
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 Okay, motion carries. Number 5, update on city council action regarding budget amendment for future park projects and RCDC funding for a park retaining wall. So Desiree, you have an update for us?
Well, first of all, Brian asked about who was reappointed. Everybody was reappointed that is on
Yeah.
RCDC right now, so there are 7, 4 still needed for a quorum. The budget amendment for future park projects was approved for $50,000,
Okay.
the one that you guys put up. The RCDC funding for the park retaining wall was also approved, not to exceed $31,000, but that approves the finances of it. The construction project has not yet been approved. We're still in the design phase. When the design comes back, it will be put out to bid, and then council will have to approve the construction project, and we'll update you all as we're going along there. So the budget amendment was approved for $50,000. The retaining wall takes up $31,000 of it, so you have $19,000 remaining in there for park projects for the rest of this fiscal year.
Well, the parking $15,000. It's not our decision. I mean, we already allocated it, right? Like,
You have to approve it because it's coming from RCDC
Correct.
anytime.
They'll ask for it, we'll approve.
Yeah.
correct.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, we're not. The onus is not on us to
Probably.
If you
It,
approve.
it,
Yeah,
like,
if.
to,
Yeah,
like,
It's if
come
you
up and-
approve.
Correct.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've had these discussions with the park commission, so I don't want any vagary about
Yes.
that.
If.
Yes, you guys still have to,
Yeah.
still have the purse strings.
Yep. And they do have a new chair, Melissa Morrow, and they're working towards finding projects, so
Fabulous.
Okay.
they've started to make a list of priorities for the park, so should be helpful.
Well, so then I wonder, we should probably have outreach to Melissa just to touch base.
Agreed.
Okay.
You want me to, would you like me
I
to
would
reach
love
out
for you to do that, Bobby. Thank you so
Let me
much for that
stop for a
offer.
Thank you for volunteering.
Yeah, thank you for volunteering. Okay, thank you, Desiree, for that update. Glad we've moved past that. Number 6, discussion and possible action to elect a president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer of the Rollingwood Community Development Corporation. Clarity, really quickly. I get the secretary and treasurer piece. Why do we have to have those positions when they don't? I mean, is it a part of the bylaws that we have?
Secretary for keeping.
Yes.
I mean, we don't have a secretary keeping note, that's the city staff.
Well, yes, but the secretary is usually required by a nonprofit corporation to.
Cause there has to be the one that's signing off on.
Oh, okay, you're right,
He does
okay.
sign off on all the minutes
You're
as
right.
well.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you for that education.
Who's treasurer now? Bobby, are you treasurer?
Mhm.
Yes,
And are you vice president as well?
I am not. I think
That's Colin.
Colin Harvey is right now.
Is there any reason not to just reappoint what we've got?
Well, Colin's not here.
So we can vote him in? We have a quorum.
And two of the people affected are not here, so that's the best time to appoint them.
Okay, works for me.
So Pat's the secretary, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
Is there any discussion that needs to happen?
You could request a salary.
A high one?
Wow.
We've got $500,000 in the bank.
Yeah.
We gotta use it for
That'd go over
something.
well.
$2
I
a
think-
meeting.
I think director attendance fees should be about $100,000 a year,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but that's not
Sounds
likely to
like-
get by city council.
So
Never know.
should we,
Sounds like excellent.
Okay, there are 3 of us who are not officers,
That's correct.
and that would be, that's a majority. So
Yeah, we
what's
could
it?
so can I nominate Colin as president of the RCDC? And
Nope. No, look over here. I did that one time.
I'll nominate Colin as president of
Are you
RCDC.
retiring the gavel on us?
I mean,
Are you trying to fill out a term so that you can get a pension or something?
I'm happy to do it, but
But if we nominate Colin, I think he would be willing to do it as well.
All right, well, who wants it?
Does anybody want to
I
second
don't.
it? second to nominate Colin.
As president?
Yes.
If Emily wants it, she's here and she was president, so I really don't know what to do here, honestly, and openly. Do you want to be president again? Because if so, you're already here.
I'm happy to do it. I just would also like a break too.
Okay,
So I'm sort
well
of,
then let's go with Colin.
okay.
Right. I'm not doing it to Colin.
But then vice president.
Does Colin have to be here to accept?
No,
What?
he got reappointed, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There
You
you
can
go.
decline it and we vote again.
Okay, fair. Then did you already second Colin's nomination?
I don't
Do
think
we
so.
have a motion on the floor to
Okay,
make
so we have a
Colin
motion.
president?
Yes, we have a motion.
Motion from
I'll
Bobby.
second it.
And second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries for,
All right.
for president.
When does that take effect?
Next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad I showed up.
Yes, they
What?
all voted aye. Yeah.
All right,
Um,
we need a vice president
vice
then, since we
president.
kicked him upstairs, so I'll nominate,
Yes, I said aye. Yes.
I didn't know if you were staying.
Oh, yeah, no.
I'll nominate Emily for that.
For continuity, I like
I'll
it.
second that.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Out of the frying pan.
Aye.
Just to be clear, in events like this, when he's not here, that makes you president. So yeah.
Yeah, I
House
know.
of Sessions. Yeah, that goes.
Yeah, I know.
Acting
just
president.
This seems as continuity. I like
And then I would,
Secretary, I think it's fine. Oh, well, I don't get a,
Pat.
well, you make Pat.
okay.
I'll move
Well, I need a
Pat.
motion.
So well, hold on. Is Pat, because he had a problem with his time, is Pat like gonna keep coming? Because
Oh,
he mentioned like
That's a
before when we
good
were going
question.
through all this over
That's
the
a good
past like
point.
3 months, like he couldn't really make this time, and he's not here right now.
that's a good point.
He said he would be here, but he's not, so he said he was available.
That's fine. I mean, I just
Just letting you know, he said he was available.
again. Okay. Well, we'll
Well,
keep him
let's
going.
Leave it in place, and if it doesn't work
Yeah.
for him, we'll
Yeah. Then we can
reconsider it
vote
next
it
week.
again.
Yeah, he can always say no.
I will second Pat.
I have a motion and a
as,
second For
continuing
Pat,
his term.
secretary, to remain in that position. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries.
Aye.
Treasurer,
Bobby again, I move Bobby again.
okay, I have a motion. A second.
I'll second it.
Nobody's willing to say
Okay,
that out
okay, all
loud.
in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, motion carries. Okay, one quick thing, it's not on the agenda, but we need to talk about March meeting, because the March meeting falls on spring break, Monday the 11th. So city staff has shared that it can be either March 4th or the 18th. Preference is the 4th at 5:30. If,
So what will be on our agenda in 2 weeks? Like what can we reasonably accomplish in 2 weeks to be able to have an agenda meeting? The
no, good
week
question.
Prior, we have to post, right? And then so,
It's 3 weeks, so we'll hopefully have clarity on the event.
okay, then for that reason alone, it might be worth it to have
Okay.
it early, right?
Yeah, I think we should.
It makes the 4th better than the 18th.
Yeah.
Yes, for city staff.
Move next meeting then to be March the 4th.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor say aye.
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 Okay, perfect.
That time's splendid with me.
6:09, going to end, call to end the meeting of the RCDC on Monday, February 12th, 2024.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, great. Thank you. Hey, guys. Thanks for your nomination.
We didn't set your salary, so that you can negotiate. You can negotiate that.
and negotiate that.
Yeah. This will be a lesson to come
Smith.
from missing.
How are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
How's it going?
Yeah, there we go.
Crazy. Good. Good, man.
Patterson's rocking along.
Yeah, he was over there to, you said he was over there, grilling.
They were cooking steaks the other day.
Yeah, green steaks the other day. So, and the other thing I was gonna tell you, and I didn't wanna get too into the weeds, but the other thing I told,
Anything you need to sign or do?
C2RMA guys is, I reminded them gently that basically, anything that they did that was elevated from the bridge or the vicinity of, Zilker Park, including paving from that to Church Road, would get that visual impacts on Zilker. But no, more importantly, it was gonna have visual impacts on the clubhouse and on Zilker Park, which is all part of Zilker Park Natural Historic District,
Bye, guys.
which would trigger.
David, good to see
Well,
you.
good to see you. could see which would trigger a full 106 review under the National Historic Preservation Act under NEPA.
Which might then actually do a full environmental impact statement too.
Well, right, which was what the whole time, I was basically saying, you're gonna have to do a full EIS on this, and